Now, what we can do for this supporting the inferencing? I said it's about latency and it's about multi-agent management. Now, you guess, let's talk about latency first and put it in perspective. What does it mean? A remote surgery, we learned 150, it's not about latency. And the further we go, the latency requirements becomes harder and harder, almost to real time. So, putting this in perspective, actually almost on the speed of a human perception and in perspective to difference, latency, speed of light, this is the requirement for the distance between the application, between the agent and the patient. Agent-patient. This is the requirement for infrastructure, transmission technologies, and I will come to this just in a second. To put the latency in real-time perspective, I talked about human perceptions. We need to think about how our brain works on a day without a hangover. And we have three sensors here, the tactile information, the visual information our brains are processing with, and last but not least, the audio information. Now, latency, our brain requires better than 20 for the tactile to feel warm, cold, hard, soft, better than 13, 12 on the visual side, and audio is less than 1 millisecond. So now we must get even closer where certain audio communication in real time needs to happen, agent and patient, to less than 80 kilometers, 40 kilometers. That's the real-time latency requirement in relation to healthcare at the speed of human perception, because we want that the medical robot works at least as good as a good professional works, right? So it has to behave like a human being. Therefore, this requirement. Now, remember, latency was the one element. The other element are these guys here, the robots, the agents, the models. They need to work. And this is the triangle. The model is used for training managing the device, the robot, or different other IoTs. With the transmission technologies we will need to reach out to the accident place, right? So this is the triangle of AI interconnection I call. Now talk about the solution our platform delivers with the DE-CIX on the inference side. Yes, it's about controlling the agents in a very, very efficient, highly secure, and extremely highly performable way. We're talking about all these agents, they will need to control a medical robot into one precise environment. Welcome to the multi-agent routing offering. This is a multi-agent inference routing, reducing the latency by max in a very private, secure environment where even millions, if needed, agent as a service streams can be combined by different organizations. They want to use this. Extremely latency sensitive, extremely risk sensitive, not about too much power and bandwidth. That's the multi-agent routing. And bring this into geography perspective. We talked about less than 80 kilometers. You see what needs to happen on the infrastructure side. We need to have the data centers, we need to have the exchanges, we need to have the transmission technology, literally as this picture shows. Not in Lisbon only, not in Sines only, literally across the country. This is valid for every single country. It's just the example of our hosting country here. And this in a very integrated global approach where DE-CIX love to say as local as possible and as globally integrated as needed, because it's also about the data, and there are a lot of globally operating organizations to bring this into one private environment. Organizations, they started building their own networks, and we need to support this by different segments. This is the summary: training, inference with free solution, cloud router, GPU as a service communities for the training side, and the multi-agent routing for the inference side into one offering. So that's the takeaway. What's the takeaway? It's an ecosystem that depends on our infrastructure offering with all the different segments. But you guess what? It's not about healthcare only, of course. Healthcare itself is related to financial services, if it comes to operating with invoices, etc., obviously investments. It's about also the insurance. And what I just presented today is valid for all the different industry segments displayed on this slide. And I will come very, very soon with another example. I have to think probably fintech or probably car manufacturing. Stay tuned, so we'll keep you posted. And excited about this is the one ecosystem globally needs our infrastructure support as much as we can deliver better yesterday than today. Most important, in a very, very highly integrated way tomorrow. And this is our promise to deliver this type of infrastructure, at least on our interconnection site, for everyone, for everything and everywhere. I want to thank you a lot for your attention, and let's build it together. It's a community work. Thank you.